Let me go back off the business grid to another phenomenon, the teenager demographic. Now, I know this is kind of irrelevant and off the mark, but I do have, as Andy said, 3 teenage boys, so this one slide is my therapy. I have to vent, I have to talk about teenagers. But actually, there's a relevancy here. Think about it. So anybody under the age of 50 would not know that there was a show called Leave It to Beaver. So if you're in this room and you've never heard of it, consider yourself lucky, because you're that young. And Leave It to Beaver featured this guy, the Beav, Theodore Cleaver, the Beav. And you know, when the Beav would get in trouble, he'd walk into the house, maybe he'd track mud into the kitchen, or maybe he'd put a frog down Wally's shirt, his brother, and his mother, Mrs. Cleaver, who would be standing there with her vacuum cleaner in her high heels, her dress, and her apron, and her pearl necklace, and her pearl earrings. And she would say, "Now, Beav, you're punished. Go to your room." And the Beaver would be, in that moment, instantaneously punished to the solitude, isolation, boredom, and loneliness of his own bedroom. Now today, if I had to instill a consequence to my teenager, and I said, "Go to your room," they would look at me and go, "I was going there anyway." Because inside their room today, it is their world of luxury and connectivity. It's what Dr. Robert Taffel, child psychologist, wrote a book called The Second Family called Planet Youth. The moment they go in their room, given the household penetration of televisions in bedrooms, cell phones, wireless, and Xbox Live, where you can actually kill somebody in a war who lives in the UK, simulated war, there's 60 to 70 to 80% penetration. And the second family, which is replacing the primary family, is that their #1 sphere of influence is this combination of core group of friends, outer group of friends, and pop culture that they pick up on TV, the internet, and of course YouTube. That's the greatest form of influence. There was a generation gap in the 60s that was rebelliousness. Teenagers who just said, "We're going to turn over, we're going to do it differently." There is a generation gap today between teenagers and their parents, but it's more about irrelevancy. They have everything they need literally at their fingertips. They are instantly less connected the moment they step foot outside their doorway. Now it sounds sad, but if you read Taffel's book, you realize all we got to do is get close. We got to strap on a snowboard, put on headphones, listen to vulgar rap music, and just kind of connect and form an empathic envelope. But it's not so bad. But the interesting thing is that that's what technology is doing. So I figured if they can have Planet Youth, why can't I have Planet Middle Age, where I can be comfortable and connected? Because it's grotesque. That's why. Now we've read about